Now at 6, a historic Southeast Kansas business is officially back open. We'll hear from the new owners. Plus, how a new program in Joplin could help people filing their taxes. And Freeman Health System hosts an event aimed at improving the health of its thousands of employees.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Cedar County, Missouri say the human remains discovered in a brush pile last week are that of a Joplin woman. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The Cedar County Sheriff says the remains were identified to be that of 27-year-old Shania Haynes. They were found last week in a brush pile. Full autopsy will be used to determine the cause of death. 3 men are now arrested and charged in the case. Bradley Keith of El Dorado Springs, Brandon Choate of Lamar, and Jimmy Cole of Stockton are all charged with tampering with physical evidence and abandonment of a corpse. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joining us.
All right, it turned out to be another gloomy day for us today, but again, temperatures above freezing as most of us went into the mid to upper 40s across the region, and thankfully, we got rid of the dense fog. We could still see a little bit of patchy fog for us tonight, but it's not going to be near as dense as what we have seen over the past couple days. 41 in Yates Center, 46 in Welch, 45 in Anderson. Stockton is sitting at about 42 degrees, and all the rain we had earlier today is pushing off toward the north and to the east, so we're going to stay mainly dry as we go through the rest of the evening into the overnight hours. So this round of rain is out of here. But of course, we have another one which is building back toward the south and to the west. But the evening hours are going to be okay. We'll kind of hang into the lower 40s, cloudy skies, but we do have more rain chances in the forecast. We're going to be talking about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. A popular tax service reopens this year in Joplin. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, also known as VITA, provides free tax services for anyone making less than $65,000 a year. There are sites across the United States, and last year the Joplin location helped prepare more than 4,000 returns for local taxpayers.
It's important because, especially for low to moderate income taxpayers, it provides a relief so they're not paying for their tax service. We provide this as a free service, as a community benefit for people that cannot really afford tax services, professional tax services.
VITA tax locations across the 4 states can be found at irs.gov. Well, after nearly 90 years since it was constructed, the Gay Parita in Corona, Kansas is back in business. KOAM's Anthony Saviello takes us inside.
In 1934, Pete Ferrero, along with his son-in-law, erected this 2-story building. Within weeks, every night was a party at the Gay Parita.
I'd heard stories, either about weddings or, someone's grandparents met there, parents met there, and, about the rough times, the fights, all the big bands that had been there, and I'd heard all these stories, and, no one around here at my age or younger had seen it.
John Parsons, who now owns the Parita, wanted to bring that same life back to this historic building.
I just wanted to take people back in time so they could see what it was like, in the heyday, and, what the bands that were here.
Spread all over the walls are pictures and articles showing the history of not only the Parita, but the surrounding community as well.
We tried to do everything exactly. We dug and dug and dug on the paint, and we finally got down layers of paint and found this blue. And everyone thought that was the original color.
Not just the paint, but the original floors and seating all still remain within the Parita.
So many people calling asking, hey, we want to see the building, so we got with Amy and we opened it up.
Amy Cassell, who owns the Skinny Hen, now partners with the Parsons, who plan to open the Parita back up to the public in the future. Just like in the days when it first opened, the Gay Parita will now be filled with people dancing to music and filling their bellies with amazing food, all while reestablishing community and culture. Reporting in Corona, Kansas, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
I can't wait to check that place out. The Parita will be open to the public tomorrow, and those interested will be able to purchase food and listen to a live band. Freeman Health System President and CEO Paula Baker is retiring. Baker had served in the role for 13 years. Before that, she was the CEO of Freeman's Ozark Center and helped with the creation of the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism. And she will not officially retire until next year. In that time, Freeman will search for her replacement. Well, Freeman Health System today hosted a fitness fair for employees. 25 vendors stopped by Freeman Hospital West to help employees learn about health benefits and fitness services. Officials say it's important that they focus not only on the health and well-being of patients, but also the people that keep their facilities running.
The best health and wellness resources in the area. A lot of people are really motivated at the first of the year. And the other reason is because they're so important to us, to the health system, and patient caregivers often don't take care of themselves. So we want them to come out, see some things they can do to make sure they're in their best shape for themselves.
The health system has more than 4,500 employees. Well, some kids in McDonald County today got to speak with a published author. It's part of Anderson Elementary School's One Book, One School reading program. And this year, students read Mindful Mr. Sloth by best-selling author Katie Hudson. Today, they got to meet Hudson virtually from her home in London.
In the past, we've had some that just we knew we were going to do that one. We really try to think of books that kindergarten through 5th grade would enjoy. This year, though, we were looking for that kind of specific lesson to share with our students.
And the students were able to submit questions for Hudson ahead of time that she answered. Pretty cool. Coming up, authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas investigate a crash involving a Columbus school bus. Plus, we'll hear from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper who was hit by a car during a traffic stop. The Kansas Highway Patrol is investigating a wreck involving a Columbus school bus and a pickup truck in Cherokee County. It happened near the intersection of Highway 400 and Highway 7. According to a spokesperson for the school, the bus did have students on board. Authorities say there were some injuries reported, but none are life-threatening. Not more than a month into the new year, the Oklahoma City Metro has already been witness to 2 crashes involving law enforcement officers performing traffic stops. Matt McCabe spoke with one of the officers hit just last week.
It started as a normal traffic stop for Oklahoma Highway Patrol Trooper Jesse Gregory.
And after watching the video, I don't even remember barrel rolling to my feet.
He's seen here in this video from the dash cam of his patrol car. He's just about to finish a more than 20-minute long stop.
When it threw me from the vehicle, I think it really just took most of the blow, most of the damage.
In an incredibly lucky example of fate that he credits to God, Gregory and the 2 other drivers survived the horrific crash.
Hopefully this is my scare of the career.
But less than a month into 2024, it's already happened twice. The first at the beginning of January, when a driver barreled into a Canadian County deputy during another traffic stop. Gregory remembers it because he was there.
And he's actually our neighbor. He lives a couple houses down. He was struck in the exact same situation. I was less than a mile from him, and I was actually first on scene and called for help.
Deputy Mendoza is in a long-term rehabilitation facility, but survived the crash.
When something like this happens to 2 law enforcement officers within the same month, this was a month's period that 2 of us were struck in the same county within, I would say, 2 to 3 miles of each other is pretty crazy.
Gregory considers himself lucky with less severe injuries.
I'm ready to come back and just kind of work through it because I know it's going to take a little bit mentally to come back.
He hopes drivers look at recent weeks and move over and slow down.
Definitely be safe out there. Developers are proposing building the tallest skyscraper in the U.S. in Oklahoma City. Madison Capital and architecture firm AO had planned to build the second tallest skyscraper in the country there, but they redesigned it to make it even higher. They're seeking permission from the city government to increase the height of what's being called Legends Tower to 1,907 feet. Impressive. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, the entire McCully Catholic student body shows out to watch the Warriors hit the court.
Well, of course, it turned out to be another gloomy day for us today, and we're not going to see any sunshine for at least until about the second half of the weekend, but it looks pretty good. Here's a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam downtown Joplin. At least the fog has gotten so much better. It's been so thick over the past couple days, but it has lifted quite a bit this evening. We could get some patchy fog back in here later on tonight, but not as bad as what we have seen over the past couple days. All right, 41 in Fort Scott, 45 Chatopa, 46 at Grand Lake Neosho is sitting at 45 degrees. We look at 7th and Rangeline, 44, feels like 40. Our humidity is at 93%, westerly winds at about 5 to 10. As long as those winds stay above 5 miles per hour, it will keep the fog on a minimum as we go through the evening hours. But we're going to hang out into the 40s, cloudy skies across the region, and still cloudy skies for us tomorrow. We did have a batch of rain that rolled through this morning. It wasn't heavy rain. Most of us picked up a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch in some spots. But this rain is rolling off toward the north and to the east. So we're kind of in between waves. That was our 4th wave, believe it or not, that has affected us this week. But our next one, our 5th one, is building out across parts of Arizona. That wave will start to affect us as we go into the daytime hours, well, really nighttime hours for us on Friday. All right, let me walk you through time. For us tonight, we drop back near 40. The clouds stick around, a little bit of patchy fog, but not near as thick as what we have seen over the past couple days. By the noon hour tomorrow, we warm mid to upper 40s. Mostly cloudy skies, and by the afternoon, let's stop at 4:30 p.m. Most of us near 50, 51 degrees. 46 Nevada, 53 at Grand Lake, Parsons 48, Cassville also 48 degrees. All right, this next storm system is going to take a southerly track across the southern plains, so we're going to be right on the northern edge. So the best chances for rain are really going to be along and south of Interstate 44. But we are going to get some showers in here tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, you can see the northern edge is kind of Independence, Parsons, Pittsburgh, over toward Lamar. And then the rain slowly works out of here. Now, don't be surprised if Saturday morning it mixes with a few flakes of snow, but it does not look like it's going to be a very big deal. Rain's out of here by Saturday afternoon. It is going to be a cooler day, highs into lower 40s. And then finally, we start to clear out a little bit by the time we head into Sunday, meaning a little bit of sunshine. All right, rainfall amounts with this next wave, again, not heavy. Mainly our southern counties, a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch. Some areas, about 1/4 of an inch of rain. Here's your day planner on your Friday, 39 in the morning, 47 by noon, 47 by 5 p.m., and dropping off during the evening hours. And weather looks pretty good. Once we get into Sunday, we finally get the sun to return, something we just haven't seen much of as of late. 51 tomorrow, 42 Saturday, 49 on Sunday. But look at this stretch next week. Upper 50s to lower 60s across the region, but more rain will start to roll in by next weekend.
Well, we have a scheduling update for our programming on Friday. Due to golf, there will not be any KOAM news on air at 5 or 6 p.m. on Friday. However, we will bring you a look at the latest headlines and forecasts on our free KOAM Plus app or on the KOAM website at 6. You can watch it either way. And then at 6:30, watch the Oklahoma City Thunder take on the New Orleans Pelicans right here on KOAM. Join us after the game for KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, Missouri Southern baseball receives some preseason accolades. And McCully Catholic High School basketball plays in front of its entire student body. John Dales has highlights from that and more up next.
As a high school athlete, seldom do you get the opportunity to play your sport in front of the entire school. This afternoon at McCully Catholic, those on the Warriors varsity basketball teams played in front of the student body from 3 different Joplin area Catholic schools. Macaulay Catholic at home today for an afternoon game against the New Covenant Warriors. Early in the contest, Bradley Wagner gets the turnaround easy bucket in the paint for 2. Later on in the first, Alex Bohashik makes a nice cut into the lane, scores off the glass. Macaulay starts the game on a big offensive run. Still in the first, Connor Taffner kicks out to Michael Paragon, open in the corner. That 3 is up and good. Macaulay opens the game on a 16-0 run. Second half now, Warriors up by 23. Paragon with a nice spin move into the lane, finishes with the bucket. Next possession, here's Paragon again, fouled, and you can count the bucket. Then, just after, it's another fast break. Here's Paragon again with the layup. He finishes with 19 points. Macaulay dominates in front of its home crowd. The Warriors win it 51-29.
The guys have been talking about it for a month now. This is the first time that we've done something like this, and I think it's great for our school to see the kids that are coming up through our school system to be in this type of, to help with the atmosphere and be part of the atmosphere and eventually be playing in that type of atmosphere. I think it's just great all around.
Just after the boys' game, the Macaulay Catholic girls hit the floor to take on New Covenant. In the first quarter, Brooke Ryder gets the steal here. She's off to the races, goes in the other side for the layup. Basket good, plus the foul. Later in the first, Vanessa Diaz knocks down the three-point shot off the inbound play. Lady Warriors leading by 12. Still in the first half, the only senior on the team, Chloe Williamson, takes over this game. She gets to the bucket here. Then on a fast break, here's Williamson again, showing off the spin move for 2 more. She went on to have a career day. Williamson scores a game-high 42 points. In the second half, Macaulay in full control. Isabella Gilligan hits the three-pointer to put this game on ice. The Lady Warriors go on to get the win 67-36. High school wrestling tonight in Frontenac. What's known as the Cannonball Clash between Fort Scott and Frontenac. Girls duel taking place right now. Boys set to start immediately after. We'll have the highlights from the wrestling mat tonight at 9 on Fox 14 and 10 o'clock on KOAM. College baseball season just around the corner. Missouri Southern lands itself the number 23 team in the country according to the preseason media poll. Lions infielder Nate Miskowski also named to the preseason All-Central Region team. He's coming off an All-American campaign last spring. The Lions open the 2024 season 1 week from tonight at Southern Arkansas. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have more on a program in Joplin helping people file their taxes this season. Plus, the Pittsburgh area young professionals host an event to help young adults network. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Let's check back in with Doug for a final look at weather.
All right, it looks like backing down to about 39 degrees for us tonight. We could see a little bit of patchy fog. It's not going to be near as thick as what we've seen over the past couple of days. Let's go 51 on your Friday. Showers move in Friday evening, Friday night into Saturday morning, and then rolls out of here. So a little bit cooler for the weekend, but sunshine returns, even 60s next week.
All right, thanks, Doug. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.